what we do here at the program is a 15-week program, right? In those 15 weeks, we have, I'm gonna try to see if you guys can see this. If not, I'll shoot it to you in email. This is our training achievement record, right?
Okay.
It's from A to Z. And what I do is I can start anywhere on here saying, for us what they're learning, okay? So let me bring it up to you again.
Sure. It's
But I'll
like
shoot you a copy of it. I'll shoot you a copy of the email for it. And what it is, when they're in the lab, right, what happens is they're rated from 1 to 3, right? Sure. 1 means that they need a little more training. 2, they understand it, and then they can show someone else. 3 means that they have mastered it, right? 3 means that they have mastered it, and they can instruct someone else in the class on the project that we're doing. The first 2 weeks we spend in the main building. The reason that we spend the first 2 weeks in the main building is because the students are going through a process, getting acclimated to the classroom, the book work, and we're learning the first certifications that they have to do. I'm part of the National Restaurant Association, which makes our program part of it. I'm an instructor for them. So the first certification they're going to get is called COVID-19 by the National Restaurant Association. What that program is, we talk about how to reopen, how to make sure the customer is safe, make sure the employee is meeting all the standards for washing their hands, uniforms, that nature with the new norm. Before they can start cooking in my lab, they have to pass a certification, which is called the Food Handlers, which is our in-house test, which is written by the National Restaurant Association, right? And with that test, we go over the basic information about washing hands, the danger zone, fed time, things of that nature dealing with food service. They have to pass that in order to be able to cook. In the event that they're having problems with the test, I have a teacher assistant, and including myself, we'll go one-on-one training. And the way we train here is hands-on, repeat, 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 repeat. Also, we do flashcards. It depends on the student's learning IEP. Behind me, you see some sticky big notes, right? And we got them everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens is that first test they take, every test or certification they take, they do a pre-test. But when they first come to me, the second day that they're with me, they take a pre-test to see if they know anything about food service, this assessment, to let me know the strengths and their weaknesses and how I'm going to approach this class. Every class is different. This class has gotten all the information really quick and really fast. So that's a plus. I had another class, had a little problems with the getting the information together, but we got it. But when they came to the lab, they were great with knife skills. On this TAR, which stands for Training Achievement Record, let me bring it back up for you guys.
Okay, Training Achievement.
Hands-on test. So what I mean by hands-on test, and people don't really pay attention to this, they learn the points of the knife. It's 10 points to the knife. And when we do the hands-on test, we walk through it, we practice it every day. And what happens is you set up your cutting board, you get the whetstone, you sharpen the knife, you get the steel, things of that nature, because a lot of people, believe it or not, think this one thing sharpens a knife, but it doesn't. Everything that I teach them, we give them the history, right? Everything that we use is certified by the National Restaurant Organization to teach the students, right? So that's the first hands-on test. The next hands-on test they have is dealing with eggs. And some people go like, I know how to make eggs. Well, there's a difference between a French egg, an American omelet, and flipping his egg this way. And once they learn all that, you will be amazed how they catch on to it. So we're in the lab now. So what's going to happen now, we're going to be doing box lunches because we're going to be dealing with sandwiches. Everything that we deal with on this side, we make a box lunch and offer it to the staff next door so they can get repeat, and understand what they're doing, right? So we do a big project. This time we're going to do a big luncheon, not a big luncheon, let me take it back. We're going to do a luncheon for the staff, and we pick staff to come over. And it's going to be a vegetarian meal this time. Okay. So everything that we do is dealing with how we eat, nutrition, things of that nature. People often ask me, how do I train people with some kind of disability? I don't like using that word, but I think everybody, the movie Ratatouille, everybody can cook. And these young people that come in, they're ready to learn. So once I give them that information, we introduce them to emails. We introduce them how to find recipe cards on allrecipe.com. They have to do a lot of things on the computer, which they've gotten great with. On Fridays, we do Zoom. And on Fridays, what I do is, all it is a review for the week. That could help us in our study, and you get not being able to understand it, you write it on the board. So the next day you come in, you're like, okay, I had problems with fat time. Fat time is the way that food can be contaminated, by the way. I'm sorry. And it stands for what, y'all?
What did you call it?
Fat time. It's called what? F is for what? Food. What's the other? What's A is for what? Acidity. What's the other one? What's the next one? What's the next one? What's the last one? Martian. All that stuff that they just said, it's called fat time, but it has names for it. That's what makes food unsafe. If I left out some ground beef, fat time, that the elements are there for it to grow. So everything that we teach, we repeat. We got flashcards, and what it is, they're able to explain it. Reason that I do it that way, because when they took this first certification, yeah, they were paranoid about it, right? So what happened was, as we repeat, flashcards, giving lectures, things of that nature, and showing it hands-on, when they take that test, and when we get ready to take the test, it comes just like this to them. So there's a method that you have to do in that sense. How it is, I'm giving you the basic information. Once we take you to that next level, everything goes as that kitchen. Also, Miss Hess is our employment coach, and she will go off. This cycle, what we're gonna do is, they graduate in April, and we're gonna try to get them placed 2 weeks before they graduate. Reason that we're gonna do that is, if they come up with a problem or while they're working, I'm gonna go on site with the job coach, because it might be a job that the person who's running the kitchen has never looked at 2 people doing it versus 1 person. Okay, so that's a plus. Our goal is for them to get employed. Once they finish the program, employment. And everything at Peroqua has a way and a system that we do things. Like I say, with the job coach, she goes out if there's a problem, but she goes out to visit anyway to see how they're doing. I use this book as more of a reference. So once I'm talking about fat time, HACCP, and all these things dealing with food service, we can go to this book. One thing also we do a lot of charts that's in the books. Okay. So it's everything that they need is in front of them. Like with math, right? I found that, yeah, I'm gonna teach you, you know how to count, all these other things of this nature, but I'm gonna show you how to use it in the kitchen. So we catch on that very well. The plus that I have with the students, I don't care what students they are, I'm gonna tell my age, they can take a cell phone, like I have an Apple phone, and some things I don't use on there. This is my belief. If someone can master that cell phone, and you can tell me, Chef, if you do it this way, I can teach you and you can learn. So that's a plus. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I feel that.
Also, the certifications they can receive is first aid, the food handlers in-house. The next one they're going to take is going to be what they already taken, except for Cody. Excuse me, it's the online assessment test by the National Rep. I don't grade that one.
Okay.
It comes back, everybody passes. We also do the alcohol. We don't serve alcohol. What they learned is the basic information about how to keep alcohol safe, how to serve it, things of that nature. Then you have the manager's test. The manager's test is when you go into a restaurant, you always see this thing that says serve safe management. That's the test that they're going to take here. See the TV in the corner?
Yeah.
What I do with the TV is, if I'm teaching something, I find something on YouTube, or I go to the food service network, because a lot of times they know chefs that they like. So if they see me when we're teaching the cuts, they can see someone actually doing the cuts while I'm demoing. This is our lab. I'm sorry about that. This is the different equipment that we have. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Like we got a mixer.
Okay.
Then we got a press. Can you see it?
The press.
It's a sandwich press.
If you go down, I can see it.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Then we got the Buffalo chopper, which is a Hobart machine. Different equipment that we have in here is standard issue. And then behind me is all our plates and glasses and things of that nature.
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to walk out this room. And this, and if you look at it that way, can you see the students?
Yes.
Okay, so everything is 6 feet apart and everybody has their own table.
Okay.
These tables right here, can you see this table?
Mm-hmm.
When we start our lab work, everybody has a assigned lab table. We're going into another room now, okay?
Okay.
This is, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, so everybody in this room, I'm sorry. There's another table there. Can you see it?
Yep.
Then there's another table across, right?
Yeah.
I use this table to do demos when we're getting ready to cook it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Now, the board I was telling you about, so that board is designed to say when they come in and if they have a question, we throw it on the board. And it helps because on the board, we might talk about the 3 ways food can become contaminated: chemical, physical, biological. I'm the kind of learner, I have to see it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm hands-on, so I try to, when I do teach, I go ahead and teach it in that way. So basically, this is one of the labs. We're getting ready to put another TV in here. So, like I said, when we're doing something, is a plus. So I'm going to walk through this other door. I'm not going out front. I'm just going to this front line. By the restaurant being closed, we have a great opportunity right now until someone else comes in here. This is the grill area that they're going to be using when we're doing demos.
Nice.
So this will give an added plus. It will give a more feel to a restaurant where if we get them into a BJC's or a nursing home or a mom and pop, they have the understanding about the grills and things of that nature that everybody's in right now. And then Bloom has a private room that we used. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, we used this room when I first started here for private, when we did our projects. I call them projects when we invite staff or we might invite a vocational rehab counselor or one of the chefs who's been here helping us. What they do, we'll invite them and they'll see the kids, the young people, I don't mean to say kids, the young people go to work in the sense of being able to show their talent off. The last class, we had a barbecue. And it was kind of neat because what we ended up doing, have you ever been to Paraguay?
Yeah.
Okay, and we got the big auditorium, right? So
Yeah.
we did a barbecue, we cooked the food and everything outside, but we had everything 6 feet apart. It was really neat how we did that. And then the other class, we had a chili cook-off, which was really neat. What did the other class? I forgot what the other class did. We did a pasta bar. This whole room had pasta everywhere, plus appetizers. Then my very first class here, we did sit down in that room, but like I said, when COVID came, we had to adjust. I have them from, say, 19. My oldest student in this program since I've been here was 65 years old.
Okay. All right. So this is helpful because one of my questions was obviously did the referrals predominantly come from vocational rehabilitation?
Yes and no, because we have I can see you the PDF on that as well. We have a trifold, and the trifold talks about the program. So a lot of times people get that. Yeah, we do get vocational rehab. Then we might get somebody who came in Paraguay and seen the program. So we do have that. So we get it from word of mouth, vocational rehab, and once they get here, we go from there. Vocational rehab, we'll pay for it. Then we have scholarships. Then we have grants. So there's all kind of ways you can get the student paid for.
Nice. That's what was going to be my other question. If it wasn't VR referral, how is it paid for? How did people get access to such a wonderful program? But
yes, but
it's not out of pocket. It's covered through other needs.
Nothing comes out of pocket. It's covered. And here's the blessed thing about it is once people get here, what I do before the class is out, I tell them, hey, I need you to get this to one person that you know who wants to cook. So that's a plus too. So we get students like that. So I think by us getting them placed 2 weeks out, and if I have to go on property, they're gonna get free work from me while I'm training the person for that kitchen or whatever. I think that's gonna be a big plus too. It'll be I believe it's the first week or the second week in April, which will be 15 weeks.
Okay. And
it was at 12 weeks, But with the 15 weeks, it gives them more time. And then if I have a student who's starting late, like Cody did, once they come to class, I can bring them up to speed along with me and Miss T. So the information that he missed, we can get it to him.
Sure. Yeah, one of the questions that I had that you've done a really good job answering is what happens to graduation and how do they get placed? And it sounds like you've got a really strong support built in to
Right.
segue them into paid employment.
Correct. Which we have an employment department, and like I say, Ms. S, she comes over once a week. She'll talk about employment skills, and we do it all during the class. She'll help them with their resume. She'll help them fill out applications online. When they go for the interview, she'll make sure she's there with them, depending on the student. The employment piece is there. So once they're placed, then we have the job coaching if it needs to be, but they still go out and check on the students as well, if that answers your question.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. I appreciate it and the wonderful information for us. So
no problem. If you got questions later on, you can shoot me an email.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay,
Bye-bye.
you guys be safe. Bye-bye.